What's good, Sooner Nation? We got a special interview for you all. 2026 quarterback commit, Jaden O'Neal. We got him here with me and Coop. We want to talk about this junior weekend, so make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate us, review us. If you're listening, give us 5 stars. Jaden, talk to me, man. How you doing on this beautiful day?
Can't complain. Blessed to be here. I just honestly can't complain. I'm doing good. My family's good, so just glad to be here.
That's good, and that's something that with everything that's happening out there in California or whatnot, we're happy to see that you and the family are well, and excited about the future. So hey, you were here in Norman this past weekend, got a chance to kick it for junior weekend. You met some of the recruits in your class, some of them in the older class. I mean, the younger class, some of the 27s or whatnot that pulled up. Talk to me about the weekend festivities, man. How did it feel coming back to Norman?
Coming back home was, definitely that's something that's just kind of welcoming, something that's warm, to be able to talk with the coaching staff, just to kind of rebase myself, be able to, just bring my family out there and be able to, just stay in contact with them, make sure, because, there was a change with the coaching staff. So we were able to kind of, just regroup, and be able to speak with them again. Got to see, some of my guys that I know, Jabari and Daniel Odom, a couple, names out there. So Caden Jones, Mason James. So it was good being able to see them.
Good stuff.
Definitely. You roll in Oklahoma. It's now recruiting season ticks up. Season's over. The staff is getting after the 26 year. You as the quarterback, this is your kind of your time to shine, to start kind of curating class of guys that you want around yourself. Tell me about how do you take that on as a quarterback and as an athlete? I mean, is that something that you find pretty easy? Is that something you're kind of have to make some adjustments for yourself?
Not really, no adjustments needed. Just to be able to just be myself while I'm talking to these guys, just be kind of natural with it. I feel like the more that you feel that you're selling them, the kind of less, authentic, behavior is just kind of weird. You just want to be able to be nice and fluid, with some of these athletes because, some of these guys have a wide broad of like options and opportunity, and they want to just really go to the place that feels like home. So that's like kind of my approach, to recruiting these guys.
Which I like because authenticity is critical to a lot of these kids. As you mentioned, a lot of them got offers from a lot of big programs around the country. So we're not going after just anybody. We're going for, the top of the top. So we know that, as you mentioned, authenticity is critical with that. So when it comes to like talking to some of these recruits and, talking about the way that your style of play, how have they received you as a quarterback and as the leader of this class so far?
They see me as somebody, based off of the film, and kind of just like my play style, somebody who's put their, shoulder into somebody, no matter like what the circumstance is, I'm gonna try to just make sure like I put the team first. So, whenever I'm trying to recruit these guys, I kind of just make sure like, they feel wanted and, feel at home. And also I kind of see like what their playing style is and what the offense is currently, which, they like to throw the ball. So I'm a pass first kind of guy. So that's kind of it, sir.
Definitely. You become the host now, being the quarterback in that room. What's the first thing you're talking authenticity? What's the first thing that you bring up to some of the recruits with you? Is it the family atmosphere? Is it just the vision? What's the thing that you like to bring up first?
When I'm first talking to these guys, I kind of bring up, do you see yourself being here? You got to envision yourself actually being there. If you're just there, if you don't actually feel like you can be in a system or offense, that's something that I do ask. Another thing I do ask is, do you feel, wanted? If you're a recruit and if you don't feel wanted by the coaching staff, you're just not going to be able to, be able to have a relationship, be able to walk into the facilities with other guys, be able to just kind of, focus. Like the focus is just not going to be there. So that's kind of some of the few things I talk about with them.
I like that. I like that. And so you know that Oklahoma's goal right now, especially Brent Venables, ever since he came back to the Sooners, has been what we call the OK Prep agenda, as in they're trying their hardest to keep the local talent local, as well as broaden out to great talents like yourself in California, players in Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, etc., so on. But there were some pictures posted on the social medias that got everybody a little excited. It was yourself, Caden Jones, who is a legacy because his father, Kewan Jones, played running back at Oklahoma in the early 2000s, as well as Mason James there in Norman North, a wide receiver. Talk to me about your relationship with them and how exciting would it be to have them to join the fold with you?
Seeing those guys again is just the relationship, has been constantly rising. Seeing them, throughout like certain camps on social media as well, being able to contact them is just something that's constantly growing. I feel like the connection, like between like the three of us and a couple more other players, of course, is constantly growing. Having those local guys out there, having a hometown school like that, that's just something that you constantly like want to bring up, especially as a commit. So, dealing with those guys, they're, very down to earth, humble people. And I just trying to reel them in, of course, like you said, authentic. I want to be very authentic, like whenever I'm talking to these guys, because they are dealing with a hometown school. And some kids may want to leave the state or whatnot. But I feel like, when these kids are, dealing with a hometown school, I feel like they get that love a lot much closer.
Yeah, and to add to that real quick, Caden Jones was you. I remember you had convinced him to come down there to the Brent Venables camp when you were in town last summer, right? So it's obvious you two have a pretty solid relationship, and I know that KD is one that a lot of teams are really going after. What was your message to him? Not all the details. I mean, I know y'all be chopping up as friends and everything, but what are you trying to instill in him to make him follow that legacy and join you at Oklahoma?
For sure. When I had, brought him to the camp, I just wanted to kind of just, visualize like the connection, seeing what the connection was like, just to be able to see, what the future, Sooners is going to look like. Like you said, some of the things I try to just talk to him about, that's like not so private. It's just seeing like the connection, if the connection's there, like just the vibe between, him and I, because it's going to be us in the backfield, possibly. So, just kind of just having that connection and that ability to communicate with them is something I kind of, prioritize.
Sweet.
So just saw a few minutes ago, it's now list season, talk season, random stat season on the Twitter app. Shows Oklahoma tied number one for the most wins with a couple other teams in the past 25 years. When you're having these conversations with guys, what's the balance between like just the history of the program and then kind of what you want to do in taking this team going forward in the future? Like, do you have a balance with that? Do you talk about the past at all? Or is it just, hey, this is what we're going to be doing?
I try to focus on the present. I kind of use the past to my leverage. There are, one of the most winning, programs is World War II. So to be able to kind of bring that up with people, it's something I kind of incorporate a little bit, but if not, I'll try to focus on the present and, try to make them see what's, going on now. Cause, the future's constantly like moving fast and you don't want to harp too much on the past, but you definitely do want to give, those guys that was in the building, credit, to be able to make Oklahoma a powerhouse name. So.
Love that. All right. So we had a commitment that just dropped down the line, Daniel Odom from St. John's Bosco. You posted a picture of you both out there. It appears that, y'all have some ties from childhood. Tell us about your relationship with Daniel. And did you know about him going to commit before he dropped the line to all of us?
Actually, no, I did not know he was going to drop his commit. I did actually know while we were in the airport, you got to be like in your top 5 school, or top 10, of course, just because of like the people that, that's in the building. He said, yeah, man, I'm going to probably drop that, top 10, so I wasn't really expecting commitment. It was just something that was like surprising with me. So, yeah. So, to see that, you got another top elite wide receiver it only makes the connection and duo that much better, knowing that we were once kids who played on the team called Nation Titans, of course, brother Steve, shout out to you. It was just a team that we all played for, a bunch of young kids, couple, local kids that are still, top, a lot of people don't know this, but with Nation Titans, a lot of talent has come out of there. So, Daniel Odom being one of them, a few others as well. So, we've been dealing with each other, ever since we were young. So just to be able to see him, constantly grow, now he's committed with me, of course, is something special.
Have you gone in and like done some film study, kind of see like what he does good, what he does well, on the field yet?
I mean, he goes to school down the street from me, so I kind of sometimes.
Oh, there you go.
So you can see him often, right?
Yeah, so he goes to school in Bellflower, one of the top programs. So to be able to, see him weekly, constantly going against like, top tier, competition, just see what he does on those stages, and he always rises, to the occasion.
All right, who's taller, you or him?
I think Daniel got me by like, I'll probably say an inch. He's really like, I think he's listed as 6'1", but I feel like he's really like 6'3" or 6'4".
Yeah. I think he's listed 6. Yes, either one place has 6'1", one has him 6'2". So you think he's actually taller than that now?
I think he's 6'3".
Oh wow, yeah, because you're like legitimate in your size. I've stood next to you, so that's actually quite interesting. Adding to that, you had Jabari Brady from down there in Florida, the 6'3" athlete, Fort Lauderdale or whatnot. Tell me about that. I mean, I see the pictures with you three together. What's been your message to him? Has it been a similar message to him about joining and being connected with the team, or have you hit him with the, hey man, you need to just commit and ride with your boy?
Nah. I like to give people like, the ability to decide on their own, not to make it feel forced. We're already kind of like having a good connection right now because I'm on a 7-on-7 team, South Florida Express with him. So we're already building that. But, if OU does come into the play of a commitment, man, I'll be even more, more awesome for the off season. But I'm just kind of, talking with his mom and, his family and stuff, and just seeing, is OU the best option? And if not, just to be able to continue like that relationship, because you never know, he might spin back for a transfer portal cake. You just never know. So
it's true. You may see him in the NFL too. So yeah, that's also the other thing, man. Y'all can end up seeing each other on the same team. So that's a very good point of keeping that relationship going.
You get some of these defenders coming in with you, and if you think yourself down the line, like these are guys you're going to be facing against, like you obviously want like great defenders on the team, but then at the same time you got to think of like, man, I'm going to be going about with these guys in practice. Were there guys that you were just kind of like looking at their size when they were in that you're like, goodness gracious, that'd be a guy that I definitely want playing on the other side of the ball at Oklahoma?
It was a couple. I think it was a big 6'4", I think a DN from Bama. I forgot his name, but I think I did got a chance to speak with him. I think I dapped him up, but I think that was one dude. I think one All-American lineman. I think so. He was there. I forgot his name, but I just seen. I think it's V or something like that.
Yeah, V.
Yeah, V. Yeah, the big ticket. Yeah,
Sone. Yeah,
Valdon Sone. Yeah,
I saw him in person. He's a monster. I think he's like 6'6" or 6'7". Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, just knowing that. OU has the tradition of having, good defensive player. That just kind of boosts your confidence as a quarterback, knowing that the defense is going to get you the ball, put you in good, positions to score and stuff. So yeah.
I like that. So you mentioned this at the beginning of the video. We're talking to Jaden O'Neal, OU commit quarterback, in the 26th class. You mentioned this at the beginning, staff change. I know you all had committed underneath Seth Luttrell at the time when he was here, and then Ben Arbuckle has come in. I know that you've got a chance to finally talk to him and, probably even look at some film and understanding his play style. How do you feel like his style of play fits, the game that your strengths when it comes to your game?
Yeah. Coach Arbuckle, top in his class, of course, to be able to develop. He developed Cam Ward, of course, very.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Just to kind of see his offense. When I was in office, we were able to watch film and just being able to see how he has some of the similar concepts that you see in the SEC. Mm-hmm. He's kind of bringing that West Coast offense now in the SEC, and just seeing how it develops, certain kind of players. He knows how to use their strengths and weaknesses. That's something I always kind of just rave about. Just be able to say that offensive coordinators, knowing how to use your strengths and weaknesses. If they don't know how to, use you, there's really no point of being in that offense. So.
That's very fair.
Oh yeah, so he knows how to use different kind of athletes to their strengths and weaknesses, which I love seeing like in the film.
Definitely. Arbuckle coming down here, coming home, you get a chance to have the conversations with him. What are the things that stand out about Ben Arbuckle the most when you were down with him?
When I was down with him, he's very relatable. He's not like super old, or we're not. I think he's 29 or 30 years old, somewhere around that age.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, he's super young, so he's very relatable. He has a young coaching staff around him. So the people that he has around him is also something I could relate to. He's also he's coming from the West Coast, so he kind of understands our culture a little bit. Where it comes out like throwing the ball, just like the quarterbacks that we have, of course, out here. And yeah, basically like it.
So did you all get to see the team practice while you were down there, or watch them train while you were there for the junior weekend?
Yeah, man, Coach Smack was getting them boys right. They had all kinds of stuff, lead work, bag work. They was bringing it back. It was throwing balls on the wall. So, it was good seeing them work out in the morning.
Good, yeah. I know Schmitty is infamous for putting you to work, and so he gets your body right. Every player that's ever played for him, and I know that the NFL, they actually know him by name, and they look for some of his guys because they know they're going to be in the right shape and pushing forward. But since you got to see a little bit of it, I saw you post the picture, late last night, you and John Mateer standing next to each other. What was it like meeting Mateer and getting to know him? Because, he had an interesting journey. He really wasn't heavily recruited, ended up there at Washington State. Ben Arbuckle got him, and he's built him up over the last few years. What was it like getting to chop it up with him as far as, understanding his journey? Not only that, but also that he's been with Ben for, and this will be his third year now, and being able to learn underneath Cam Ward. What was it like getting to talk to John Mateer?
Yeah, being able to talk with, John Mateer, very humble, down-to-earth guy. He's not a rah-rah guy, but he knows how to just put his head down and just, really just get to work. I feel like with his experience and, with the new resources that he has now, I feel like he'll be able to be, successful like in SEC. With all the, big time players that he has around him, all the transfers, being the highest rated, transfer quarterback in the portal. I feel like with the resources and coaching staff around him, I feel like he should be a Heisman candidate, in my opinion.
Okay. High praise.
Yeah, that's a Heisman candidate. You heard it here. I think he's in the top 5 as far as the odds just go from the get go, and so that's some pressure, right? Guy goes from Washington State. Let's just be honest, it's a little bit more psychotic around here when it comes to football than Washington State. But for you specifically, just knowing that, like, man, that could be me someday. How do you keep those things kind of segmented between like put down and grind, but then also know that like there's going to be a big expectation because there's a bunch of statues outside the stadium which show that quarterback play here recently has been pretty good.
Yes, sir. Cam Moore said it the best, just putting that phone down. Just keeping the phone away from you. I feel like sometimes we just need that dopamine rush to sometimes kind of see what people are saying, whether it be not negative or positive. So just putting the phone down, just keeping the main thing the main thing. NIL is of course changing the game. So maybe you don't like to see the dollar you like because you're always on your phone. But if not, if you just put your head down, keep the main thing, staying with your team, I feel like you should be successful.
That's what's up. So you mentioned this, talking to Jaden O'Neal, commit 2026 class quarterback. You talked about going to the camps down there you had a team down in South Florida that you play on a 7-on-7. And you've been around a lot. And literally, I'm reading one article here from Tom Loy about you and just your mechanics and stuff. What has it been like going to these camps now to be able to help up your stock number, make sure that you can get, because the goal is to get you up in the 5-star status, dog, because you got the talent there. You should be there. But how has it been going into these camps and going to these combines over the last few months for you?
It's just something part of my recruitment process I've definitely loved. To be able to go around the country and see top talent is something I look forward to. I'm always, competitive, no matter what's thrown at me. I'm always trying to, just be dominant, and get up there at the top. So, I feel like my skill has naturally risen just because the competition I constantly see, dealing with these top camps, rivals, whether it be, Texas, the All-American Bowl, just seeing all these talents and, all the competition, I feel like it's just naturally in me to just rise to the occasion.
So you say this rising to the occasion, just the thing that drives you, you know, just put the phone down, keep the main thing the main thing. What are the main things for you? What are the main drivers for you to be a better, not only just person, but better quarterback and a better football player?
First off, just being coachable. Everything's not going to go your way. You're going to make mistakes. So just to be able to, hear the coach or hear somebody who's done it before with the experience to be able to hone in like their experience and their teachings and display it. Another thing, keeping the main thing is, not being caught up in, hype. I feel like a lot of players get caught up in hype. I try to make sure I'm humble as possible. Here and there, of course, if you do good, of course, try to talk about it. But if not, just try to just put yourself, just one step down so that you can kind of get a different, view or point of view of what, what's in front of you. And lastly, just kind of not being caught up in social media. I know that's like kind of another thing I look up, maybe you're going to a camp and you're seeing so-and-so is there. So what? I mean, shoot, you see it. Well, I mean, it's competition at the end of the day, as the levels rise, college to NFL, it's going to be more and more competition. It's going to be guys that can throw the ball just as hard as you, but what are those little things that you kind of like put yourself, ahead that just like separates you? So those are some of the stuff I kind of, keep the main thing.
Like that. How did you feel when you won the most outstanding quarterback at that Navy National Combine? How did that feel?
It felt really good. Just to kind of be able to, get an award. An award is something that's just, no matter what stage it is, an award is like an award. So I went to that camp before. They ended up giving to, I think, the Arkansas commit. I forgot his name, but they ended up giving it to him last year. So that just gave me like more drive for this year coming up. So I was able to kind of go like a little bit harder, especially like with the talent that they had, around. I was able to, just try to just be the best version of myself. So I'm glad I was able to get that.
Speaking of, just a hype and trying to keep the main thing, I'm going to take you back last year, BB's camp. I get notes that there's this quarterback that walked on and immediately everybody kind of flocked to him when he started throwing. And that's when your name starts popping up. Check on this, check on Jaden O'Neal. Tell me the just kind of that process from that day to where you're at camp for the first time to commitment to now building the stuff. Do you feel partially accomplished? Because I mean, I know that you're a driven guy, but what are the things that when you just kind of look at the whole journey, what's next for you as far as like accomplishment? What's the next thing that keeps people gathering around you and oohing and awing?
Just my development. I feel like that's gonna help people kind of stem towards me. My development is something I'm constantly trying to hone in, trying to always get better. So I feel like I've always had the talent, but if you don't have like the work ethic, I don't feel like it's gonna be kind of paid off. Another thing, like when I was kind of like going to those camps, visiting like the school, I feel like it was just constantly like a roller coaster, kind of like an avalanche. Everything just kept building when I was able to see the coaches constantly like speak with them, posting, just kind of those certain things was able to reach the fan base. So of course, I was able to see it, and then now hearing at the camp, people were like, it was like crazy because I ended up like walking in the door, saw like a bunch of cameras and like people like gravitating towards me. But I try to stay as poised as I can, be able to appreciate the moment. But during that time, I was just like, it's camp season, like I said before, like it was competition, so I feel like I tried to like handle my business.
There you go.
That's what's up. Okay, so the season ended for you at in high school. How do you feel like the season went for you? And what are your goals and accomplishments this coming season?
This past season was like a roller coaster. A lot of stuff that like went down. Like the first 6 games, man, we were like 4-2 in the first 6 games. So we saw some top talent. We were able to, win a couple of those games, and then like we got hit with some, like, I think it was like paperwork issues or something like that, or CIF wasn't letting us play because like they found some. But I was able to come playoff time, first game, I went crazy. So during that time, I was just kind of just trying to just keep my faith like with the Lord. It just felt like, man, like why me? But really just ask, man, this is just part of like his journey. Keeping my faith in the Lord was something that was just like key to me. and also like just keeping my teammates, gathered, like together. I know some guys probably like lost faith, but I was just able to be there and lead my guys and, get us to the, to the regionals. We lost in like in the regionals, but I felt like, each win that we had in the playoffs, it was more and more like the brotherhood coming together. So it was a crazy season, but I was glad I was able to, play my 10 games, this season.
Modeling yourself after, somebody that's gone in front of you is just something it's hard not to compare yourself to. Do you have a quarterback that you've seen play that's in the league right now, somebody maybe still in college that you try to model your game after, or is there kind of a mixture of a couple of guys?
Couple quarterbacks, one at the next level, of course, Shadur Sanders. I've seen him throw live in person, kind of similar body type a little bit, 6'2", 6'3" a little bit. Saw him play live. I feel like we kind of, play like each other a little bit. I saw Cam Moore, his ability to his pocket presence is something that's crazy. His ability to have different arm angles, throughout the game is something I kind of look after. And then the level after that, NFL, probably like CJ Stroud. His intellect is, something that's crazy. I feel like he's undervalued, in his game, man. His ability is to keep his faith and, lead his team, his leadership is something that's crazy to me. So those are like some of the few things I look at.
Love that. All right. My last question I got to ask is, you came for the Bama game. How was that environment for you?
It was something crazy. Like even before the game happened, just when they cut all the lights off and then all the flashing lights with the fire, because I was sitting right at the exit or at the entrance. So
yeah.
To see the players, the horse it was just crazy, with the fire. So just the scenery even before the game even happened was crazy. And then of course the game happened, defense was still just killing out there. Defense is killing. Of course, when Arnold was there, he was able to, maintain the game before. So it was just a crazy, and then the rushing. I was in the pile for a little bit. I didn't want to be too much. I was just suffocated. It was just crazy. Man, it was just crazy.
So you ready to see yourself run through that tunnel and do that exact same thing and have those electric nights here in the SEC?
Yes, sir. SEC, something that's big, special. I kind of just being there, I felt myself getting intense a little bit because I felt like I was about to play the game. So it was awesome. Crazy, man.
Well, Jaden, you talk ball. What makes Jaden O'Neal smile outside of football? What's the thing that you really, really like to do?
One thing I really like doing is just spending time with my family. You only get so much time on this earth, and I feel like every second I get to spend with my family is something I just kind of take to heart. Outside of football, I love being able to just watch my anime. I don't know if y'all see Rob.
Yep, I see it.
It's like other stuff, you know what I mean? That's just something that I watch. Whenever I can, get on the game. I have a game system down there. I have 2 TVs, so it's my little game room. So whenever I have off time, head down here and get on the game for a little bit. Just be with my friends. I'm usually on the game with them because some of them are out of state. So sometimes I get on the game with them. Mm-hmm. That's about it, really. Sleep too. I'm big on sleep.
Something. Get some sleep.
Sleep, man.
Get some sleep. I'm with you on that. And the good thing is in today's era, you get to hop on the game. You can hop on college football with your friends that are outside the country. Create yourselves and be like, hey man, I'm gonna be throwing you the ball, or you just beat them all the time and be like, let me teach you how the game is supposed to be played. Which is so you be cooking them on NCAA on college football. Is that where you be cooking them at?
I sometimes I'm more of a Madden guy. I like the mechanics.
Oh, okay.
NCAA, it's different from Madden. The way how they even the ability to call plays is different. They don't look like Madden plays, but both games are really good though. I play both. I'm more of a Madden guy personally though.
Who's your team?
On which one?
On Madden.
On Madden, it depends. Just the wide receiver core, I'm picking Texans. I mean, you got Stroud, and the rest of that wide receiver core is crazy. So
that's true.
Yeah.
It's pretty dirty. How about obviously you're heading towards Oklahoma. The only pro team we got is the Thunder, and they're pretty good at what they do. Do you get into basketball or any other sports also?
I did. So right before, I don't want nobody call me a bandwagon. Like, I don't want nobody. But before the Warriors had that run, I was a Warriors fan back then when they had Jamal Crawford, I believe so. Like, yeah, back in the day. So, like, before they had that run with Curry, Clay, and all them, no, I was a fan before then. So,
well, I mean, you're out west, so it makes sense that would be the team you would root for out there. I mean, unless you're a Laker or a Clippers fan, it totally makes sense that Golden State would be your squad. So I can't call you a bandwagon. I can't really pick at you. But Jaden, what message do you have to Sooner Nation that you would like for them to know as, you continue to work here in the 26th class before you get to campus?
Being in this class is something, especially like with the fan base too. I'm very appreciative of them, being very supportive, cheering me on like no matter what the situation is. The message I got is just I'm gonna continue to work for y'all. Just be able to give my best effort because I know the fans I've seen it, I've literally seen it with my own eyes. Like the fan base is always there. Y'all always there, present in the moment, and I'm gonna be here present in the moment as well. So thank y'all for having me. Man, this is special. Thank y'all.
Good stuff. Awesome. Well, got Jaden O'Neal, quarterback, 26 class for the Sooners. Man, we appreciate you pulling up, sending a message to the people as you came through Virginia weekend. When's the next time you plan on being in? Which event do you plan on pulling up for?
Shoot, I want to get the spring game in and then probably set up an official after that, around June.
Sweet. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, we appreciate you pulling up, my man. Hey, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And we'll chop it up soon, man. Boomer.
Sooner, man.